This is Metcat's daughter. These two are twins and my neighbors. This is their sister who lives in Mississippi. This is my brother, and this is viewer Takeover. Bye.
This is PSVR Gamescast Live, where we film live every Tuesday afternoon, but this is the pre-recorded segment of that. This is Viewer Takeover, where we film pre-recorded. Still Tuesday, but we air it every Wednesday. Every today is Viewer Takeover, when we let you, the loyal Gamecats, we let you take over the show. As always, my name is Brian Paul, and to my right, your middle, something wicked this way comes, it's Desra.
Okay.
And to my far right, your left, the king of all VR kings, the Sofa King himself, finally back on RE7.
Yes.
It's Jeremy
Finally.
King. Finally, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of you. I didn't watch your stream. I can't wait to hear all about it on yesterday's live stream.
Yes.
But first and foremost, we want to thank MetCat, the Game Cat.
Yeah. Again.
Actually, want to thank
The Met Kittens?
the
kittens, the
the
litter?
Met Kitties.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The family and friends of MetCat. I can't believe. Hopefully, they all made it out alive. For that awesome viewer takeover introduction. If you want to introduce next week's viewer takeover, make sure you send your short, sweet, sexy, maybe somewhat better resolution than what we just experienced today. Video to withoutparole@gmail.com. I think if anybody's ever going to take us seriously, we need to get a real email account.
That's a real email account.
That is pretty real.
I mean, but it should be like Brian Paul at withoutparole.com.
Yeah,
Like
but
a
that takes
long-
money.
I
and effort.
own withoutparole.com. Why
Yeah.
don't I have anyway? But we also want to thank these people. These people down here. These are the people who went to patreon.com/withoutparole
Games.
and they are giving us $1 or more every single month. And holy crap, man! I thought last week on Viewer Takeover, I thought people were going to be like, Brian, shut your whining.
Yeah.
If you work too hard and stop working so hard and you get to play video games for a living, shut your fucking yap. And I was waiting for those comments.
Yeah.
Instead, we got like an outpouring of support. We got a lot of love.
Yeah.
Tons of love in the comments, but also I woke up to like 12 new Patreon supporters.
Oh, wow.
And so I just want to say thank you so very much to the people who joined our Patreon family, the people who are continuing being part of our Patreon family, and on top of that, the people who raised their pledges last week just because they were like, well, I can give a little bit more.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Thank you
That's
all
awesome.
so very much. We do give you Litterbox episodes every week, but that's pretty much all you get other than your very, very fine feline name right down here.
What's the font they get it in?
I don't know, like Ariel or something.
Ariel.
I don't know. It's very sexy. I like that. It's tall and skinny and just looks so good.
Yeah.
But we also want to thank some people who followed Beauty in the Decay's lead, aka Matt the Game Cat, who we haven't heard from in forever,
MIA.
and changed their name to Game Cat.
Yeah.
Of course, Game Cats are the loyal following of Without Parole. Desra, would you like to tell us who changed their name this week?
I would love to. This week we have VR King, Stand with the Vic, the Cat.
Bing! I don't know.
Nice.
That was a lot of words.
That's a lot of names. But
Yeah.
hey,
I feel like there's a couple references. Do you think it's a reference to Jeremy and the Game Cats and
Maybe.
and who's Vic?
And
I don't
Victor?
know.
Maybe
Are you
he's
Vic?
really
they're
Victor.
like triple dipping in different podcasts and like, oh, we're gonna change this part of my name for this cast, this part of my name for this cast, and this one for the Game Cast.
They're getting
Right?
shout outs all over the
Yeah.
internet.
As long as we're in there somewhere. That's
Okay.
all.
Yep.
We have Devon Clark, the Game Cat.
Thank you, Devon.
Jeff Cooper. Jeff Cooper, the Game Cat.
Dude, Jeff frog in my throat, the Game Cat.
I speak good. Justin, the Game Cat. Oh, the Game's Cat. Turgeson.
Nice.
Is it the Game Scat? Turkey?
I'm going for the Game Scat.
Yeah.
Justin, the Game
Yeah.
Scat. Turgeson.
All right.
And original Uber Bitch, the Game Cat.
Wow.
Gonna let you keep that one.
I don't. Original Uber bitch.
Was
I'm
he
like,
the first Uber driver?
oh.
Or
I was totally going in a different direction with that.
Right.
yeah, I mean it could go that way, but maybe they're the first driver for.
And
Uber.
finally, how to make an onomatopoeia of Game Cats. Thought you were gonna mess me up with that, huh?
Bing.
Yeah.
What's up, hotcakes?
So what does that
Onomatopoeia.
mean?
Onomatopoeia is words that sound like sounds, like boom, crash,
Ding.
smack.
Slap.
Yep.
Like Batman stuff.
That's exactly what
right.
everybody thinks of.
Yep.
All right, but more importantly, now that we're 8 goddamn minutes into the show, we
least.
do want to get to the show itself, which is we scour. Oh wait, before I get into that, if you change your name to Game Cat next week or this week or sometime before next
This
episode,
week.
put hashtag GameCat all one word in the comments somewhere so we can give you a shout out on next week's show.
Yes.
But moving on from hashtag to hashtag, we scour the videos, we scour the comments for the hashtag viewer takeover, and that's where we find your questions, your comments, and we put them into a Word document that changes all of our periods to question marks. Sometimes, yeah. And we read them that way because we think it's funny. So if you want your question read, make sure you put hashtag viewer takeover in the comments. I'm going to go first with Jay Meow from... this is awesome. This is from PSVR Without Parole's Discord channel. There is a viewer takeover section
right over
on our
there.
Discord channel, and we want to definitely give a shout out to Sci-Fi Game Cat Henry, who last week was like, "Hey guys, we know you're busy, but how about a Discord channel?" And I was like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me!" And then Jay Dow, Justin Sadowski, the best Jay Meow Dow. So many great names.
Jays.
The guy named Jay.
He sends me a text and he goes, "Hey, I got some time on my hands. I'll take care of the Discord channel if you want to do it." And I was like, "It's all yours."
Wow.
Okay. So make sure you click the link in this video, under this video in the description, to join our Discord channel. And Jay Meow, Jay Dow, Justin Sadowski, Jay Dow will take care of you.
And then next, if someone could ask to paint my deck and redo my windows downstairs.
Also, I've had way too much caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think people are asking things to get done, and they're magically getting done. So just I need one of my windows repaired downstairs. So I'm asking that.
Well, tell them what time.
So Jay
'cause
Maurer,
they could show up at
right.
3 in the morning.
Hashtag viewer takeover. Well done, sir. With Sony owning many of the best IPs, why do you think they're so resistant to porting those games to VR? I imagine that many of their early PS4 titles that didn't do super well, like Knack, would be great additions to VR. First off, Knack sold really fucking well. Knack sold better than it had any right to for such a trash game.
I thought Michelle's the only one that liked that game.
And then they gave it to us for free, too. Like, really, please take it.
Oh,
I don't even know if
it was a plus game for one.
I don't even know if I took it. I'm going to tell you.
I bought it at launch.
Ooh.
I bought it. It was like at Target, buy 2 get 1 free.
Oh, okay, yeah.
PS4 launch titles.
Yes.
It still didn't average out to what I should have paid for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good question, and I think the question always gets answered the same way. I think it always comes down to money.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we have God of War, we have Resistance, we have Killzone, we have all these amazing IPs that somebody's probably like, man, we got to make sequels to all of these games, but we want sequels that are going to sell to everybody.
Right.
Yes.
So I feel like Sony at this point is like, let's just make new IPs for VR, and that way we're not like kind of quote unquote wasting our intellectual property.
Are we talking about creating new games, or he says porting?
Yeah, just porting.
So that's Knack VR, or like take the game Knack that already exists and port that into VR. But I think the answer is still the same. It's money. It's maybe less than money than developing a new game from scratch, but it still takes some effort to convert those games into VR.
Well, there might be more too behind it. Like, we don't know. I don't know with gaming licensing rights and how long things last to be. The team behind it. Is there certain things behind it where they could have the ability to do whatever they want with that title whenever, regardless, or are there things behind the scene that we're unaware of? Like,
well, something with Knack, I mean, they absolutely have the right to do whatever they want with it.
Well, that's their specific.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
But
I
other
don't
big
know.
titles.
This is kind of just a variation on the same question we answer every week about
Constantly.
the PlayStation 3 games.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, why aren't we just getting tons of PS3 ports every week to PlayStation VR? The answer is, well, we don't really know what Sony's doing.
Yeah.
Sony's always been like one of these companies where you're like, we see the clear path for them.
Yeah.
But they're like, well, we got a different set of ideals over here. We've got a different path in mind.
They seem
Well, to be
doing
fair,
all right, though.
we got VR because of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. So should we move on?
Sure.
Yeah,
All
why
right,
not?
you're up, Asia.
Next up, we have Empire 100 from the Bulwark Games developer interview.
Hey, nice.
Most devs must be old enough to... I'm going to say to recall. Most devs must be old enough to recall the days when a game was done, it was done. No patches and updates. They had to make sure the game was as it was meant to be. Most games always have patches and updates. It's made for lazy or rushed development. Why fix it later? First impressions matter. I think there are two points here I want to do. One is there were many games that were released that were broken.
Sure. And just couldn't get.
And there was no update, so it was like, sorry, sucks to be you.
About them.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was. You say many, but it wasn't. It wasn't like.
It wasn't many,
tons.
but it was also you couldn't get like, okay, you buy Super Mario Brothers, and that's it. That's all you're ever getting is that, right? It's
You're not going to get any free levels.
You're not going to get free levels,
Nope.
any DLC, anything. So. Yes, this is a minor portion, but there are some good things to the whole update cycle thing.
Yeah.
But yes, on the other side, it does allow developers to rush things, to just like, all right, get it out the door as long as we get something to ship, and then we'll fix it later.
Yeah.
Which does get lazy, does get frustrating. And then we get things like the Starblood situation where like, oh, I have a game that, well, now it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Also, I think there's like this whole there's like a spike in like difficulty of development, like development difficulty.
That is a yes.
That happened right around the same time patches became available.
Yeah.
Like, because when you go from when you think about NES, SNES, all the cartridge-based things, and then you even go PS1 and PS2, the jump to PS2 to PS3, people don't I don't think quite see how big of a jump that was. But man, we started getting open world games, we started getting Bethesda games, we started getting games where it was like
connected to other players, stats,
Absolutely.
comparison charts, comparing
all
your
sorts
friends.
of things that you cannot you can test for. You can do bug testing for a year, and you will never discover all the bugs your game has because it's so big and so huge. And now you're dealing with not just one or two developers. Most NES games had a very, very small team of developers. It was just a couple people that made those games.
Yeah.
But now you're dealing with tons of people all contributing code to something. There could be a problem anywhere, and so it's a blessing and a curse that this is a thing now.
Yeah.
Because some people do fall back on it. We got Dick Wilde 2 that came out, unfortunately, it came out without the final build. In the game.
Yeah.
They were this isn't the final build. It was here, it was on the store for days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without being patched properly to even be what they decided should go out on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
I was how does that happen? I'm assuming, of course, I don't know what's happening over at PlayStack or Bulwark, but I'm assuming that they're well, this is the deadline, and we just have to push it out the door, and you guys can patch it later. And I was that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. There's that, and again, unless you've spent some time, I would say in any kind of software development, especially in game development, this stuff is hard. It really, really are. We're not going to get in depth and complexity, but people talk about Bethesda bugs. Well, you know why those bugs come from? It's because they actually have in memory stored where exactly every sweet roll is sitting in the world, and if you pick it up and move it, the memory has to keep track of all those tens of thousands of items.
Yeah.
So right there alone, there's so much chance for error.
Yeah.
So yes, we understand this is hard, but also using that as an excuse for we're going to release crap and we'll deal with it later, because sometimes that we'll deal with it later part also doesn't ever happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
This is true.
Oh yeah.
All right, Jeremy, you're up.
All right. Where am I? Right here. Rhodey. Joe.
Hey, Rhodey.
Rhodey the Game Cat. Intruders Hide and Seek Review. Hashtag
what a
viewer
great review
takeover.
that was.
Yes.
I don't know who wrote that, but man, everybody.
I'm not the only person pissed off about the Dick Wilde 2 patch making the game so difficult.
Oh.
But am I in the minority? Is there a reason they didn't just add a difficulty level? Dylan Gladstone made a great point. It's if Beat Saber added the Expert Plus mode and took away all the others. What I keep coming back to is why. There is one guy on Reddit complaining it was too easy. Did they change it for one guy?
So, Dick Wilde 2, since launch, has gotten 2 patches. One fixed a bunch of bugs, and the other one fixed something else, something smaller. But I reached out to Bulwark Games just before we filmed this. So you know how things work.
Yeah.
They could, by the time this thing airs in 24 hours from the time we film it, there could be 7 more patches.
Yeah.
But this, as of Tuesday at noon, there has been no difficulty patch on Dick Wilde 2. It was fucking easy out of the gate. It is still easy now.
Mandela effect.
Well, it's what it is. I just want to read the direct DM here. They wrote, the patch you played has no direct difficulty patches, only level adjustments. We're working on the next patch based on the community feedback and especially co-op balancing. The new patch will also have difficulty settings. So you got what you wanted. They're coming. The difficulty settings are coming. But if you think the game is suddenly more difficult after the latest patches, nothing actually changed. Now, here's the thing. For anyone who thinks that Dick Wilde 2 is too hard, it's not. Dick Wilde 1... Yeah, I know. Everyone take out their cock. Not you
Wait,
guys.
what are you talking about, Brian? I wasn't even
I'm
thinking
on
about
the other side of the camera.
Oh, yeah, y'all do
need-
what you want.
We don't need to watch. So the deal is that if you never played Dick Wilde 1, or you did and you forgot, half of that game is dodging.
Yes.
Right? It's like the piranha fish are flying at your head, or things are shooting at you, or birds are dropping crap on your face, right? All you gotta do is do a little bit of dodge. A little dodge, okay, shoot and dodge. And here's the thing, very quickly in Dick Wilde 2, do you realize you can't shoot everything?
No.
You just can't. There are too many things, and you can only shoot as fast as you can move your fingers, or the gun takes to, ready itself.
Yep.
And it's absolutely ridiculous that, like, once you realize all the things you don't have to shoot, like, you don't have to shoot incoming projectiles. You just dodge. You don't have to shoot incoming piranha fish. You just dodge. You don't have to shoot. There's so many things you don't have to shoot.
Yeah.
So suddenly these things become superfluous. And you start dividing things in your head. You go, well, these things I dodge and these things I shoot. And suddenly you're like, this game is so easy. And if you add a God Cannon to your mix like I did, and you get a second player, well, the difficulty only goes up by 50%. They only up the health bars of the enemies by 50%.
Oh, great.
Now you have 2 people doubling the firepower. So now it's even easier. So I think the reason some people think, I'm talking way too much, the reason some people think that Dick Wilde 2 suddenly got more difficult, I think everybody started out playing it multiplayer.
Right, and then you went back.
And then you did single player, and you didn't realize you need to dodge, right? And once all those things come together, you will also realize that this is a super duper easy game.
Yeah.
But luckily, we have difficulty settings coming.
Yes, and that's
soon
I think that's the sweet spot is the difficulty settings. That was we talked about the original Dick Wilde, and it's like great game, too hard for me to play. I need to tap out.
Yeah.
And
during my interview, luckily they said we're still looking into adding a difficulty setting to Dick Wilde 1.
That's awesome.
So it's totally possible.
So going back to I Empire's question, there's another bonus.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is it me?
Back to you.
Yep.
All right. Nick Mew, the game cat.
You get the long one.
Oh, jeez. Don't I always? Hashtag viewer takeover at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard. Des talks about ignoring the tutorial. This was on the Knockout League review discussion.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, and I find that a lot of people ignore tutorials. Tetris Effect is a prime example. The tutorial teaches you a lot about playing specific Tetris games, the zone mechanic, holding pieces, etc., not just Tetris in general. Trophies also teach you a thing. I'm going to kind of skip the whole trophies thing. Sorry for the long question. This is the edited version. That was my edited version, your edited version. Yeah. So do you guys, can you guys think of any time a trophy listing or a tutorial taught you something about a game?
So for VR, I'll do the tutorial, definitely,
absolutely.
because everything is just different, with the movements and what it's not just as what you would assume.
Yeah.
Standard cut and paste game back in the day, like 360 or PS3. I would skip some tutorials because it was pretty obvious, or they were just interjected as you walked through the hallway and started your game, But I tend to like tutorials for the most part, but I do skip once in a while, like Mass Effect 2 type of thing, where it's like it's all the same. But in general, I'm a tutorial guy. Hey, I need some guidance because it definitely, these games, especially when they're remade and re-put out there, there's different elements they want to implement, so people old will now find it anew,
I think that... sorry.
It's like words of wisdom. Jerry.
Do you skip tutorials?
Well, I think the biggest example, and we talked about during the episode, was Headmaster.
Yes.
If you play Headmaster the way you think you should play Headmaster, it is a very frustrating, boring, and awful game.
Like Brian did originally, right? Yeah.
And if you play it the way they tell you to...
No. No, it just took me a while to actually get used to how it plays. I don't know what happened. Right. I went to bed, I woke up, I was better.
And so, if you play it the way they tell you to, and that's the thing, like, some of the VR games are deceptively simple. You think, oh, I know how to hit a ball with my head. It's like, no, you don't. Or Knockout League, like, I know how to throw a punch.
Like Spark.
No, you don't.
Spark.
Yeah.
There's more to it than you'd think.
Right.
Yeah.
Playing the Spark single player, quote unquote, those sirens are on our end. The single player Spark stuff, definitely, like, it teaches you how to play that game.
Yeah.
I remember not being able to throw the ball in a straight line for like the first hour I played that game.
Yeah.
And then eventually you figure it out.
Yep.
And as far as the trophies, like, I honestly... The trophies aren't a big part of my game plan.
Oh, yeah.
I see, actually, I've now completely shut off the notifications, so I don't even know when I get them. So those aren't really that important to me personally.
I like to check the trophies to find out how far into the game I am.
Okay.
It's like, get this trophy for completing level 1, get this trophy for completing level 5, get this trophy for completing level 10. There's no trophies after that. You're like, oh, this game has 10 levels.
I think Uncharted was the last time I chased any trophies. Like, headshots while you're ducking, hanging off a cliff, things like that. I might have been like, oh, I'm only 18 headshots away. I'm gonna fucking get that. But I wouldn't hunt for it originally. Look through the trophy list, and go after them like other people I know used to, especially on 360.
Okay, I used to be such a trophy hunter, and I used to play the worst games ever just to get platinum trophies. Sorry,
the last one I did like 100% trophy hunting was Minecraft for the 360.
Okay,
and they had like 50, and I got those first 50. Then they did an update, and like, nope, that took me too long.
I think Mass Effect 2 was the last one I did for all the achievements.
I will say, as far as tutorials go, Battlezone on PSVR does not give you a good enough tutorial. Like that, that is a game where you go in, you get your ass kicked, and go, what's stuff I can have, what's stuff.
Yeah, I haven't played that in so long.
And if you play it single player, it's even harder. But if you have like 3 people with you that know how to play the game, I remember like one of the loyal game cats sent me like a 7-page tutorial.
Yeah.
Actually, if you go to our review of Battlezone, I copied and pasted it right there, and I had to read through his description of how to play the game properly for me to actually even enjoy it and understand how to play it. It's not a self-explanatory game, strangely enough.
No, and there's there's a lot of examples of that too. The game we'll be talking about next week, for instance.
That's right. All right, let's move along to the final question.
Yes, Josh Burns on PSVR Gamecast Live.
Wow.
Hashtag viewer takeover. This might not be worth bringing up. Okay, thanks. Have a good week. No. So it's fine if you don't. Do you guys find yourself getting more annoyed if the loading screen is a little on the longer side in VR as opposed to flat? For some reason, I feel like I'm less patient with them. Maybe it's the headset. My most recent example would be when you were loading into your game on Resident Evil 7. No, I think you're right. I don't think it has anything to do with the headset specifically. It's you're immersed in this world.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, I'm walking around the corridors in Resident Evil 7, and all of a sudden, it all stops. Like Skyrim is another one. It's just, and Skyrim loading screens are always bad, but it's just like, I'm in the middle of this, cavern. I fit everything, and now I'm staring at a horse. Yeah. And it does. It breaks the immersion. It breaks the illusion that you're really in this world, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, you've been playing Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
How bad are the loading screens?
So just waiting for the game to load, it's crazy how long it is. And what I'm thinking is the fact that when you're playing a regular flat screen game, you have this, you can look at your phone, it's there. You can kill the time quickly without even realizing it. But when you get the headset on, you can't. What are you going to do? Lift it, adjust it, have it redo its calibration to look at your phone? No. So you're just standing there staring at it. Yep. Or you're looking down awkwardly at your phone.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, this sucks. So I'm just thinking that it might be as simple as how you pass the time, and it just makes it seem longer because you're locked in.
I hope PlayStation 5 has some a ton of social media integration. Mm-hmm. So when you get your PlayStation VR 2 headset on, you're playing on your PlayStation 5, it's like, wow, there's a loading screen over here. You can just be like, boom,
yeah,
boom.
yeah.
You'd be like checking your Instagram,
awesome.
Checking your Facebook,
have little people,
all this stuff.
Screens of other people.
PlayStation 5 will be powerful enough that you don't need loading screens anymore.
Oh, please.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Instant, yeah.
Everything's in 4K, so we had to load in more textures and everything.
And that's exactly that's Blaine's Law.
Yeah, I don't like Blaine's Law. No. I'd rather have everything running in 720p and just be 60 frames a second all the time. Everything's great. No loading screens ever.
That would be nice.
Except for in PlayStation VR. I want my 4K screens. So I take it all back. I'm a big liar. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning into Viewer Takeover. We got to get this place set up for the live show. I'm Brian, that's Jeremy, and that's Des, and we're here, and we're going to be somewhere else in just a second.
Yep.
Okay.
We love you.
Come and find us.
Bye con Dios.
Bye.
Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios.
Go with God. Goodbye.